welcome to our deep dive.
Yeah.
Into this collection of incredible scientific discoveries and breakthroughs that have shaped our world.
Yeah.
They really have.
Yeah, they really have.
It's incredible. I mean, from the laws of physics to, medical advancements, we're going to uncover the fascinating stories behind these breakthroughs.
Right.
And examine their lasting impact. So, get ready for some aha moments.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that a simple falling apple
Oh, yeah.
sparked one of the most fundamental laws in physics?
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy to think about.
It really is. So, first up,
Mm-hmm.
the story that even folks who, slept through science class have probably heard
Right.
Newton and his apple.
Oh, yeah.
I've always wondered if that apple story is actually true or just a good tale
Right.
to hook people on physics.
Well, it's one of those science legends, that really makes you wonder. But whether the apple, bonked him on the head or not, what's important is the leap that Newton made. He didn't just see a fruit falling. He saw, a universal principle at work.
Right.
Gravity.
Gravity.
Every object in the universe is pulling on every other object all the time.
Okay, so gravity is like this invisible web connecting everything
Exactly.
in the universe.
Yeah.
But how did he figure that out?
Right.
Just by looking at an apple.
Well, by thinking differently, Newton went beyond just observing the apple fall
Mm-hmm.
and asked, what if this force, this pull extends beyond the Earth?
Wow.
And he realized that the same force that pulls the apple to the ground also keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth. That's a huge mental jump, connecting what we see on Earth to the movements of celestial bodies.
So he basically connected the dots between a falling apple and the moon orbiting the Earth.
Exactly.
But how did that affect us?
Right.
Here on Earth.
Well, Newton's law of universal gravitation didn't just change our understanding of the cosmos.
Right.
It laid the groundwork for engineering marvels. I mean, think about bridges and skyscrapers and even sending rockets into space.
Wow.
All of that requires a deep understanding of how gravity works.
That's incredible to think about. Newton's work was obviously revolutionary.
Absolutely.
But then Einstein came along.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of rocked the scientific world.
Totally.
Right.
He didn't just add to our knowledge, he shifted our entire perspective on the universe.
So Einstein's theories are notoriously mind-bending.
Yeah.
How do you even start to wrap your head around the idea
Yeah.
that time itself can be warped?
Well, a helpful way to think about it is to imagine space-time as a fabric.
Okay.
Massive objects, like stars and planets, create dips in this fabric, and those dips are what we experience as gravity. That's why light bends around massive objects.
Okay.
It's following the curves in space-time.
So gravity isn't a force pulling things together. It's a distortion in the fabric of space-time.
Exactly.
Caused by massive objects.
Huh.
That's a pretty radical way of looking at things.
It is.
And does this actually have any practical applications, or is it just really cool theoretical physics?
Oh, it definitely has practical applications, even in our daily lives. For instance, your GPS relies on incredibly precise timekeeping,
Okay.
but time moves slightly slower for satellites in orbit due to their speed and weaker gravitational pull compared to us on Earth.
Wait, time actually moves slower for the GPS satellites.
It does.
So how does GPS even work if time isn't the same everywhere?
That's where Einstein comes. His theories allow us to calculate these tiny differences in time
Wow.
and adjust the GPS signals accordingly. Without those relativistic corrections, your GPS location would be off by miles.
Really?
Yeah.
A pretty cool example of how abstract physics has very tangible impacts on our technology.
Exactly.
Okay, so Newton gave us the basics of gravity, and then Einstein comes along and basically says, hold my beer, here's the real deal.
Right.
That's a pretty amazing progression of scientific thought just on gravity alone.
It really is. And that's just the beginning. As we keep digging into your sources, we're going to see how even more recent discoveries continue to refine our understanding of the universe and everything in it.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Me too. Welcome back to our deep dive.
Okay, I'm still processing how Einstein basically rewrote the rules of physics.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what other fundamental truths might be waiting to be discovered or even challenged as science keeps evolving.
Yeah, that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
Right.
Each discovery opens up new avenues of inquiry,
Right.
leading to more questions, more research, and often a completely new understanding of the world.
It's really amazing.
Speaking of paradigm shifts, let's talk about Darwin and his theory of evolution.
Okay.
Um,
I know the basics of natural selection,
right.
but I've always been curious about what sparked Darwin's revolutionary thinking. Was it a single eureka moment, or did his theory develop gradually?
Well, Darwin's journey to understanding evolution was a long and winding one. It was during his 5-year voyage on the HMS Beagle that he began to piece together the puzzle.
Okay.
He was struck by the diversity of life he encountered, especially on the Galapagos Islands.
The Galapagos finches, right? I remember reading about those in school. But
Yeah.
was it about those birds that gave Darwin such a crucial clue?
He noticed subtle differences in the finches' beaks from island to island.
Okay.
Their beaks had adapted to the specific food sources available on each island.
Okay.
Some had beaks perfect for cracking seeds,
Uh-huh.
while others were better suited for probing flowers for nectar.
So he realized that their beaks had evolved over time to match their environment.
Exactly.
That's a pretty insightful observation. But how did he jump from finch beaks to the idea that all life on Earth evolved from a common ancestor?
Well, it was a gradual process of connecting the dots.
Okay.
He realized that these small variations favored by natural selection could accumulate over vast stretches of time, leading to the emergence of entirely new species.
It's amazing how a simple observation, like the shape of a bird's beak, can lead to such a profound shift in our understanding of life itself. But wasn't his theory controversial at the time?
Absolutely. Darwin's theory challenged the prevailing view of creationism,
Right.
and it sparked heated debates that continue to this day.
Wow.
But what's remarkable is that his theory, published over 150 years ago, has stood the test of time.
Right.
It's a testament to the power of observation deduction and the scientific method.
From finch beaks to the tree of life. That's quite a leap. Speaking of decoding the complexities of life, let's jump from the macro to the micro into the world of genetics and the Human Genome Project.
Okay, that's a great segue.
Yeah.
Unraveling the human genome was a monumental undertaking, a global effort to map out the 3 billion base pairs that make up our DNA.
I remember when the Human Genome Project was completed, it was a huge deal.
It was.
But I'll admit the details of what the genome actually is and what it does always felt a little fuzzy to me.
Well, think of the genome as a massive instruction manual written in the language of DNA. It contains all the information needed to build and run a human being.
Right.
It determines your traits, your predispositions, and even your risks for certain diseases.
So it's not just about what we inherit from our parents, like eye color or height, but also about how our genes interact with our environment and influence our health throughout our lives.
Exactly. The Human Genome Project gave us this incredible blueprint, but understanding how to read it and interpret its complexity is an ongoing challenge.
Right.
It's like having a massive library full of books written in a language we're just beginning to understand.
But even with that challenge, the potential benefits are huge, right? I've read about advancements in gene therapy and personalized medicine that could revolutionize healthcare.
Absolutely. Now that we have this map of the human genome, we can identify specific genes associated with diseases, develop targeted therapies, and even predict an individual's risk for certain conditions. This could lead to more effective treatments with fewer side effects tailored to your unique genetic makeup.
It's like taking healthcare from a one-size-fits-all approach to a truly personalized experience, all thanks to this incredible map of our DNA.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here. We started with the universe, then zoomed in on life on Earth, and now we're exploring the microscopic world of our own genes. Where does this deep dive take us next?
Let's venture to a place that seems like it belongs in a science fiction novel, hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor.
Hold on, we're going from the building blocks of life to underwater volcanoes now.
Right.
It's quite a leap.
These aren't your typical volcanoes.
No.
Hydrothermal vents are cracks in the Earth's crust where superheated, mineral-rich water blasts out from the seafloor. We're talking temperatures exceeding 700 degrees Fahrenheit in complete darkness, miles beneath the surface.
That sounds incredibly hostile. I can't imagine anything could survive in that environment. What makes these vents so fascinating?
Well, for a long time, we thought sunlight was essential for life. But the discovery of thriving ecosystems around hydrothermal vents completely changed our understanding of where life can exist.
So there are creatures living in these extreme environments.
There are.
What kind of life could withstand those temperatures and that pressure?
We're talking about a whole different kind of life. Giant tube worms that get their energy from bacteria living inside them, blind shrimp, bizarre crabs, and even snails that graze on bacteria growing on the vent chimneys. It's a completely alien world down there with life forms unlike anything we see on the surface.
It's mind-blowing to think that life could flourish in such extreme conditions, completely independent of sunlight.
What does this tell us about the possibility of life on other planets or moons?
It expands our understanding of what's possible if life can exist in these harsh conditions on Earth. It makes the search for extraterrestrial life even more intriguing. Perhaps there are similar environments in our solar system or beyond where life has found a way to thrive. So from Darwin's finches to the human genome to these incredible deep-sea ecosystems, we're seeing that life is far more diverse and resilient than we ever imagined. And it makes you wonder what other surprises are still waiting to be discovered both here on Earth and out there in the vast universe. Wow, we've covered some truly mind-boggling discoveries.
We have.
From the vastness of the universe to the microscopic world of our own DNA. Now I'm ready for the grand finale of this deep dive. What other scientific frontiers have captured your imagination?
Well, let's shift gears from exploring what is to what we can achieve.
Okay.
The Apollo moon landing is a prime example of human ambition pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
It's hard to believe it's been over 50 years since humans first walked on the moon. That grainy footage of Neil Armstrong taking that one small step still gives me chills. What do you think was the most significant impact of the Apollo missions?
Well beyond the sheer technological marvel, the Apollo missions sparked a global sense of wonder and possibility. It showed us what we could accomplish when we set our minds to something truly audacious, uniting people across borders in a shared moment of human achievement.
It was a defining moment in history, for sure, but our exploration of space didn't stop there, did it? What about those Voyager probes still cruising out there in interstellar space?
Yeah.
It's a journey that captures the true spirit of scientific curiosity, don't you think?
The Voyager probes are like time capsules of our civilization hurtling through the cosmos.
Right.
They've been sending back data for over 4 decades, giving us glimpses of the outer planets and beyond, and they're still going. It makes you realize just how vast and mysterious the universe is.
It's like we launched these little emissaries to carry our curiosity out into the unknown. It's both humbling and incredibly exciting. But let's bring our focus back to Earth for a bit. We've talked about the wonders of the universe and the complexities of life, but what about the scientific breakthroughs that are directly impacting human health and well-being?
Well, we've made incredible strides in medicine, from vaccines that have eradicated diseases to antibiotics that have saved countless lives, organ transplantation. Once a radical idea has become a reality, offering hope to those facing organ failure.
It's amazing how much progress we've made when you think about it. Vaccines are one of the most effective and impactful scientific innovations in history. They've essentially eliminated diseases that once ravaged entire populations.
Right. Vaccines are a testament to the power of preventative medicine by harnessing the body's own immune system. We've been able to protect ourselves from a host of deadly diseases. But as we've learned with antibiotic resistance, it's crucial to use these powerful tools responsibly.
It's a great point. Scientific innovation without responsibility can have unintended consequences. It's a reminder that progress isn't always linear. What other challenges do you think science will need to tackle in the coming years?
Well, the challenges are as vast as our curiosity: climate change, pandemics, food security, sustainable energy. These are all issues that will demand scientific ingenuity and global collaboration to solve.
It seems like every breakthrough opens up new questions, new challenges, and new frontiers to explore, but that's what makes science so endlessly fascinating, right?
Absolutely. And as we've seen throughout this deep dive, the human spirit of discovery and innovation knows no bounds, from a falling apple to the moon landing to the secrets hidden within our own DNA. Science continues to push the boundaries of what we know and what we can achieve.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey through the world of scientific discovery. Thank you for being such a fantastic guide through this fascinating material. I'm walking away with a renewed sense of awe for the power of human curiosity and the endless possibilities that science holds for our future.
The pleasure was all mine. And remember, the most important takeaway from our deep dive isn't just the knowledge itself, but the spark of curiosity it ignites. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of your own understanding. Who knows what incredible discoveries you might make along the way.